Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today is Thursday evening and I'm gonna start my video for the weekend, and this is the video that's been most requested that I do. So you're gonna see a wardrobe change because I'm gonna be doing part of the video today and then part of the video tomorrow. The reason why I'm doing this is because I told you guys it would be a lengthy video, and I didn't want to try to sit and cram it all in one day. So today we're going to be talking about the do's and don'ts of dating after 50, especially dealing with divorce and loss, after divorce or loss. We're going to be talking about that today. So if you're interested, please keep watching. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I hope you had a fantastic day. Today is Thursday evening, and as promised, one of the most requested videos I'm going to be bringing to you on tonight. So I'm going to break it up into two parts. We're going to jump right into it. I'm not going to do a lot of talking so that we can get it covered. So I'm going to jump right into it, and today I'm going to be talking about the don'ts of dating after 50. Reason being because I want to end it on a good note. So I figured that it would be great to start with the don'ts, and then we can end it with the do's of dating. And I'm going to put out a disclaimer. Got to do that. Gonna put a disclaimer out. These are my opinions, my thoughts, based on my experience of dating. As I told you guys in the last video, I have been divorced since 2006. So I've had a lot of experience with dating. And I was in a relationship for like a year and a half, which ended in 2012. So it was from like 2010-ish to 2012, or the early part of 2011 to 2012. And I have not been in a relationship since then, but of course I have dated a lot. I've dated a lot. Yes, I have dated a lot. So I think that I have a lot of contribution to this. I'm asking all of my ladies that have experienced dating or are currently in a relationship, and your experience before getting in a relationship, even my married sisters, to drop comments, to give insight and inspiration and encouragement to women who are at this stage of life, which it is a lot of us guys that are at this stage of life. Some people have been married for 20, 30 years, and their marriages ended and they're back out there dating. Some people lost their spouses and they're out there dating again. Some people were just in long-term relationships and took a break, a hiatus as I call it, and now they're ready to date again. So this is a subject that is very popular across the internet. It is something that is a part of our lives. So it's something that we should talk about, because I do realize one of the things I learned from my experience is that we weren't designed to live alone. Even though a lot of us have, after relationships, have had to go our paths alone, and some of us died alone. But I think ultimately the Creator, the Almighty, did make us to have companionship. Out of anything, companionship is very important in life, to have someone that you can talk to, you can share your life with, if anything. So my disclaimers is that I am not a physician, I'm not a psychologist, a therapist, and I'm not telling you that this is the end all, the be all to dating. This is my experience. This is what I want to share from my experiences and what I've learned from dating. Okay, I did take a few notes so that I don't get off course today, because I can go left, y'all know it, because I'll talk about something and it'll generate a thought, and then next thing you know, I'm talking about something else. So I did take some notes. I do want to say this, and this is just before you go into the dating world. I think it's important, especially if you're dealing with the loss of someone, a spouse, or even a significant other, and sometimes even long-term relationships, that you take some time to heal, and a lot of times people, in my opinion, will go from one relationship to the next, or they look for some type of comfort and solace after they have been hurt, and oftentimes that can end you up in a relationship situation that once you feel better, you realize it isn't for you. So one of my suggestions is that if you're just newly out of any of those situations, that you take a moment and do some self-therapy, some self-healing, even maybe seeking out some counseling, and take some time to learn yourself again, to love yourself again, to feel good about yourself, work internally on yourself before you jump out there. So that's just a little extra that I wanted to add to this video. Okay, this is not going to be in any particular order, but so I'm just going to jump into it. Don't assume that when you first date that you're going to be exclusive, that you're going to be the only person that person may be dating at that time. When you think about it, when you reach this age of life, you know a lot of people, and you've been out there, so everybody has friendships. So often when you first meet someone, you may be in a pool. You may be one of many women that the gentleman has dated or is dating. Because he asked you out doesn't mean he's exclusive to you at that moment. He just saw something in you that he found interesting, enough so that he wanted to ask you out, and it could blossom into something. So don't feel like he's being dishonest unless he lied to you about it. If you find out that he has dated other people, because at this point it's so early in the stage that it's more of getting to know one another. So that's just one of the don'ts. Don't assume that, oh, this is it, he only likes me, because that may not be the case. Just like I was saying earlier, look for companionship first. Don't be so ready to rush into a relationship. One of the things I think is so important about dating is the fun that you have. Getting to know someone and all of the experiences that you can have and the things that you can do together, movies, theater, traveling together, experimenting with different foods and restaurants and art, and, picnics in the park, drives along the coast, just all different types of experiences, sitting and just laughing, talking about your favorite movie or your favorite book. There are so many things that you can do. Work out together. There's a lot of things that you can do, and a lot of times we miss all of that because we're so physically attracted to a person that we jump over all of the fun. We don't get to know the person, and we jump right into the intimacy of a relationship, and you don't even know them. So let's work on the companionship, seeing if you have things in common so that you can maybe develop a relationship with them, because oftentimes just because you have a physical attraction to somebody does not mean that you are mentally compatible with them. Think about that. Another don't that I feel is a don't in the beginning is don't bring up your past relationships, especially if it's relationships that ended bad. Talking about your ex and how bad they treated you. It will come a time probably when you have a conversation, and I think that's more toward when you're getting a little bit more interested in the person, then they want to know about your past and know about, why you broke up with your spouse, if you were married, or your boyfriend that you had for 10 years or whatever. It'll come a time when you're that, but when you're on the first initial dates, it's all about having fun. It's all about getting to know one another. So don't start talking about, well, he cheated on me and I hope you're not a cheater, and he was taking advantage of me and he cussed me out and called me this. Guys, this is the time to just get to know the person that you have met, that you found to be interesting enough that you wanted to spend time with them. So use it wisely. Use that time actually getting to know that person. Another don't is don't compare yourself to other women. Oftentimes when you first meet somebody, they may have said I was married, or they may show you a family photo, or you may show them a family photo, and then you notice that the spouse or the other significant other was attractive. Don't sit up and measure yourself up against them and feel like you're not worthy because you don't feel that you look as good as she, or you wondering what he sees in you. Stop comparing yourself, because what you see may be something totally different from what he sees. He may see something totally different that he feels is much more attractive or much more interesting than what he had before. So while you're spending all this time measuring yourself up against a photo of what you think he likes, you could be missing out because it's showing a lot of insecurity in you. Another thing I'm very adamant about is not involving my family too soon in my dating life. When I was dating after my divorce, I never introduced my children to the guy that I was dating because I didn't know where that was going. Just because I may have went on 2 or 3 dates with someone did not mean that this was going to turn into this whirlwind love affair or this relationship. So I didn't want to run too many people past my children. My children only met the men in my life when I knew it was going somewhere and we had already committed to a relationship and had been spent a lot of time with one another, because I think sometimes that could be very hard on your family members and your children if you have children, because people get used to people and they start liking different people, and then one day you have to come and say, by the way, they won't be coming around anymore. So take time yourself in getting to know them to see if that's where you want to go before you decide to start bringing your family around them or start bringing them around your family. Give yourself plenty of time. Use that time to just really enjoy the person and have fun getting to know them, so you can see if there's someone that you would want to bring into your family sacred space. Another don't is don't give up if you have a few bad dates. A lot of people go to these online dating sites, matchmaking and things like that, because it's just the new technology. So if you decide to use that and then you run into a couple duds, don't give up and say, oh, this is not for me. I'm meeting all the wrong guys. Maybe you need to change the way that you're choosing to meet people and do something different. But don't give up, because you will date some duds probably. 9 times out of 10, you're going to get at least one. So don't give up just because you meet someone and they turned out to be a total flop or just a total jerk, and you feel like this isn't for you because you met someone bad. Sometimes that happens in life. You got to weed them out sometimes. So just have fun with it. I think in the beginning, when you first get out there, not being so serious and just going into it with an open mind and thinking about how much enjoyable time you can have, how much companionship you have, and just having fun. We often rush, we go from 0 to 100 when we should be taking the time and just getting to know people, having a great time, enjoying the simple journey of dating. I think we have forgotten how to do that. So yeah, don't get so upset if you date a couple duds, because that's probably gonna happen. And I think this is going to be my final one on the don'ts, because this conversation could go on for days. But don't settle. Don't just jump for the first thing that you meet, because you don't know. Sometimes when we have not dated in a while, and I think I went on a period of 6-7 years of not really seriously dating anybody, just doing my own thing, and just maybe going out with friends and not having just an intimate date, And the first person I date shouldn't be the first one I'm like, this is it. I'm just gonna settle for this. I'm gonna make this work regardless. Give yourself time. You go out a few times with that person, and if you meet someone else, it's okay. It's okay to go out with them. Now, if you have a connection with somebody, I'm not saying that you don't want to see where that connection goes, but oftentimes we settle because we feel like, okay, I'm over 50. This ain't gonna happen too much for me. So the first thing that comes my way, I'm just gonna accept it and go with it. That is the wrong thing to do. You're getting to know yourself again. You're learning to relax and be out among people and doing things, having fun. So it's not a rush. At this stage of life, I feel like you know, if you've gone this long and you've made it this far, that you don't have to be running like it's the end of the world or like your time is just about to drop off. You know, I figure that if I date and enjoy my dating process, then I'm living my life and I'm enjoying my life. And so let's just not settle. Let's enjoy the journey. Let's get to know people. Let's get out there and make sure that we are enjoying the experience of what dating is supposed to be. And don't settle. You know, whatever you require when you date a guy, whatever it is that you require a guy to do, make sure it's those guys that are doing those things. Don't say, well, you know, I really like a guy to open the door for me and this guy just don't do it. Or I don't like guys that smoke, but you go ahead and settle because they smoke. Whatever those things are that you are accustomed to that fits your life, then that's what you should be doing. You shouldn't have to, you know, start, you know, scratching off things that you require just because you're in the dating field again and you feel like this might be your last opportunity, because you won't be happy. So I'm gonna pick up this video a little later on with some of the do's of dating, and please drop your comments. As I stated, I would love to get the dialogue and other people's thoughts, maybe add to it some of the don'ts that you have. So we'll see you on tomorrow. Hello ladies, so we are back with part 2 of the do's and don'ts of dating after 50, especially after divorce and or loss. So we're going to jump into the do's tonight. It is Friday night, and as promised, I am back with the rest of the video. So we did it in 2 parts, so we're going to jump right into it because we're working on about 25 minutes of this video. All right, I want to make sure that we understand that we need to, this is a do, make friends with technology. I know a lot of us are baby boomers and or Generation X, and we're not all into technology in the sense of communicating on a personal level, but in this day and time, we got to make friends with technology, guys, because dating is now moved to online. It's digital. It could be through texting, it could be through FaceTiming, and all of these different platforms, Zooming, and all of this stuff. What is it, Party House or House Party? All of these different forms of communicating. So guys, you need to make friends with technology. That is a do, because you probably will be using one, if not all of those, in some form of fashion, especially in this time of COVID. The pandemic, a lot of people are just going digital to date until they can do something different. So yeah, if you don't like technology, that may be a little bit of a problem. So try to get familiar with a lot of different platforms and get familiar with your phones and using them if you are not. Another do that I call a do is to look for companionship, not a husband. Now, this is a personal opinion, but if you are dating, let's not have that outlook of I'm finding my husband. I think it's so important that you get familiar with the waters, that you get out there and get used to spending time out with someone else, especially if you've been on a long hiatus and you haven't dated in a while, you haven't had any other communication with the opposite sex outside of maybe work or family members. So it is important that just to relax and have a companion, someone that you can just enjoy for the moment. And now when it gets to the point where it progresses to relationships or perhaps further, could develop into a spouse, a husband at some point, but look for companionship. Look for someone that you can have things in common with, that you feel that you can enjoy and just be you, be comfortable with before you seek out trying to nail down your next husband. Another do for me is to know what you want. If you don't know what you want in companionship or what you're looking for as far as someone to date, then take some time and sit down and assess that. What are you actually looking for? Are you looking for someone who you can laugh with, that you can hang out with, have movies with? Are you looking for something more serious? Are you looking for intimacy? Or are you just wanting to have a good time until you get comfortable with being out there again? So before you get out there, it's important that you do know what you want, what your expectations are of what you're trying to do at this moment before you jump out there. And because oftentimes that is a question, what do you want? Are you looking for just someone to have fun with, or are you looking to go further? So that's important to understand that prior to getting out there. One of the things that I get hit with most often has to do with intimacy. Know what your stance is when it comes to intimacy and sex. Is that something that you are not ready for? Is it something you're willing to be comfortable with? Some people, it's different for everybody. When we get women of a particular age, I think at some point our lives change. If you were a person who was used to, having fun, being a free spirit, I don't know what else to say, who enjoy those types of relationships, then know that going in. But if you're a person who feels that intimacy is not something on the plate right now, that you're just actually looking for someone to have a good time with, to hang out with, be upfront about it. Make sure when the time comes that you discuss that, make sure that they're clear that this is not a sexual relationship, that this is just something that you want to do to have a good time. You want to have fun. I often talk about this. I've talked about this, I think, in other videos when in regards to dating, that dating and relationships, dating and sex could be different things. The new generation, or the younger generation, I should say, they kind of put it all together. But if you're kind of old school like me, dating really is having a nice time out with someone, spending time with someone. So be clear what dating means to you. And if sex is not something that you're ready for, make sure that they understand that, and that this is just something you're doing for entertainment, for enjoyment, to get to know them, to have some fun. And make sure you're clear about that. It's so important to be clear about where you stand when it comes to intimacy. Another thing that I'm trying to get comfortable with is embracing age, guys, because I'm gonna be honest with you guys, being over 50, I'm often not approached by men that are 50 and older. Randomly, but most of the times the guys that I meet are probably 42 to 47. So embrace age. You may end up dating someone significantly younger or either older. So where do you fall? Embrace it. If you're only looking for companionship and having a great time, I don't think there's anything wrong with dating someone that's 5, maybe even 10 years younger, or the other end, 5 or 10 years older. It just depends on where you are, but embrace it. Don't be so stuck on, he has to be 50, he has to be 52, he has to be 55. If you're only looking for companionship, we're adults, and as long as that person presents themselves as an adult and they're respectable and they have things in common with you, it's certainly okay to date someone that's older or someone that's younger. I think something that's most important about dating is to listen. Make sure you're listening to the person that you're out with, understanding what they're communicating to you, understanding to you what they expect from this relationship, or what you're working towards, or if it is just for fun. I think oftentimes in our minds we create situations that aren't happening. Oftentimes it could be that this person is only having a great time. They may want to go out with you tonight, and they may go out with someone else tomorrow night. So make sure you listen to them. Make sure you have an understanding as to what you're doing, so that if you are to go out with them tonight and then you saw them in the grocery store tomorrow with someone else, you would not be upset or feel like they are being dishonest because they weren't exclusive with you, which I talked about that a little bit in the don'ts. Understanding that they may not be, exclusive. So understand that you need to listen and get a clear understanding as to what you're doing. So make sure you do communicate and actually express your thoughts. If you're not that type of person who likes to date several people, make sure you communicate that with them. So communication is a must when you're dating. One of the most important things I think is very important that we often don't do is not show people who we are. Let people see who you are from the inside out. Let them see who you are, because what is so hard to me sometimes is, a person presenting themselves to be a different way, and then a month, 2 months in that you've been dating, then you see this person that you don't even recognize. From even appearances, they may even change the way they dress and be something totally different. Make sure it's important that you embrace yourself, that you love who you are. So however you present yourself, that person is accepting you for who you are. So dress the way you dress. Don't feel that you have to change your style to go out on a date. You know, I have seen situations where women will be, well, let me just dress a little bit conservative. And then a month down the road, you want to break out with that mini skirt on. You know, if you wear mini skirts, make sure they understand that you do dress sexy. You know, don't hide who you are. And I'm not saying that you can't be conservative on your first date, don't get me wrong, but I'm saying it's important that you let someone know exactly who you are. You be who you are. You let your personality shine through. Don't put on a facade. Be exactly who you are. Do show them who you are so that they won't have any surprises the next date or the next date or the next date. It's important that you do know your value. Know that you are valuable and that no one is better than you, that no one is too good for you. Know your value. That's really important, that you deserve whatever you want. So don't feel that you're not good enough. Go in there with your head lifted up. Go in there with the pride that you have in yourself, knowing that you're beautiful and that you're deserving of whatever it is that you're seeking. And even if someone tries to make you feel that you're not on their level or you're not good enough, let them know that you feel good. You know that you value yourself and that you're special. And if they don't want to date you, then that's fine. But never lower yourself, or never feel that when you see somebody, that you meet them, that you feel that you're not good enough for them. You are good just the way you are, and always present yourself that way. So go in there showing them that you're a woman of substance, you're a woman of value, and you deserve whatever you want. And finally, with the last do that I'm going to have, and I'm going to wrap this up today, and we probably can have a part 2 of this video at some point. I think it's important that you just simply have fun. One of my followers and subscribers here on the channel stated that to me, and I was just like, man, you said it all in that one word. Have fun. Make sure you have a great time. Dating is not supposed to be something that stresses you out. It's not supposed to be something that causes you anxiety or worry. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be an introduction to you getting back out into the world after you have been, on a hiatus for a while because of maybe a divorce or maybe a broken heart or maybe the loss of someone that was significant for you. So when you make that decision to get back out into the dating world, it's supposed to be full of entertainment and fun and getting to know yourself better and enjoying just whatever it is that you're doing. It's supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be anything heavy. And don't allow anybody to bring that to you. So if you see that situations are going to be drama filled or this person has drama, just kindly go on and meet someone else. Don't be afraid of dating sites. Do sign up for dating sites. If you feel like you're comfortable with online dating sites or matchmaking sites, or even having your friends set you up with blind dates, if that's your thing. It's not mine. I've tried it. It don't work for me. But if it works for you to try it, I did try it. So if it works for you to try it, certainly try it. But do have a great time. That's what is most important about, and you make it what you want it to make. I want to make sure everybody understand that these are my thoughts and my beliefs on dating. All of us are different. All of us have different requirements. All of us look at life differently. All of us entertain differently. So however that applies to you, these are just some foundational principles of dating that I feel that are good to a starting part for somebody that has not been out in the dating field for a while. I mean, I'm out there, guys. I'm out there and I'm ready to mingle. And I have fun. I enjoy my life. I don't feel that dating is a stressful thing for me. And it shouldn't be. Dating's supposed to be fun. So make it what you want it to be. And at any time that it's not what you want, you can always stop. So that is all today on the do's and don'ts of dating over 50, after divorce or loss. I want you guys to be happy and to make life what you want it. There's so many things in life that can bring us sadness, but dating certainly doesn't have to be one of them. So I want to thank you all for tuning in today. I want you to drop your comments below, ladies. Make sure you add to the comments. Help the ladies out that's out there trying to get back out in the world. I got a lot of responses, guys, of women who are ready to get back out there and dating. So I'm sure it's a lot of things that I couldn't add in this 25 minute video that you guys can add to them. And certainly we will have a part 2 to this, and we'll dig into some of the specifics of some of the things that I talked about a little bit closer to help us that may still, you know, want to talk about it a little bit more. So thank you guys for tuning in. And if you're new to the channel, thank you for coming through. I hope something was said today or videos you watched that will make you want to subscribe. And for all of the OGs, you know, I love you guys. So I'll see you in the next video. Remember, always peace and love. I'll see you soon.